Alrighty guys, this is going to be a video, an updated video actually, on how to swap an 05 through 09 Mustang GT and how to trans swap it. As you can see, it is a 5-speed manual from the 5R 550. Got the clutch pedal assembly in there, and as you can see, I'm about to show you actually. Let me get under here. It is super simple to install all this stuff. You just have to find and source out the parts. A lot of the parts are superseded, so I recommend finding someone who has a totaled vehicle. I do have someone who totals out vehicles and resells the parts. I can give y'all guys a link in the description below or in the comments. That connector up here is for the clutch safety switch, but as you can see, it is just wired to itself, so you don't even have to start the car with with the clutch being engaged. You can just start the bitch without anything. Let me get out under here though. But yeah, this is a full harness swap. Trans and harness obviously is what you're gonna have to swap. Let me just get this open real quick. So, I'm going to stress this a lot. With these 05 through 09 cars, on the PCM side, these pin connectors, when you pop this off, you're going to look at the pins. And the pin connectors are different on I can't remember the years. I think 05 and 06 have their own pin connectors. And 7 through 9 have their own, and then the 10 is the bastard year, so that has its own too as well. The 05 through 6 I think have the same harnesses, but I cannot stress it enough. Please pop this open or unplug it, take it off, look at your pin connector and see the pin layout, and under the fuse box you should be able to tell too as well. There was one or two that are different on my fuse box. This is a stock. This is the same automatic fuse box, so you don't have to change the fuse box. But that whole engine harness is going to change with the pin layout to the PCM, because what I was having when I swapped it, I used 2 manual harnesses. I have them still. One of them's cut up, but I used 2 manual harnesses, and what was happening was the pin layouts are different. So let's say, for random example, pin 1 is empty on my auto harness, and now there is a pin there for the manual harness for some random reason, vice versa. So there was pins all over the place going to different connectors that weren't supposed to be going to different connectors. And make sure you also have the C110 or the box one. Sorry, I get sidetracked, but yeah, the pin connectors are different on each car. Just so you need to find that, you need to find the right one that's for your car, because you will start to pop. Like I started popping, what was it? Alternator, that's what it was. The alternator wasn't charging the battery. It was just running off of battery power, and the fuse kept popping for it. And then I eventually popped it open, looked, and the pin layout is completely different. Even the colors were different. When you pop this case open, I don't know if I can pop it open for you right now, but if you pop this case open, you can see the pin layout and the colors, and they're also numbered on there. So you just have to look at that and compare it and make sure it's the right colors and it's set to the right pin layout to the connector, or else you're gonna have a lot of issues and a lot of headaches like I did trans swapping this. So fuse box stays the same, my AC compressor stayed the same. I do have an oil pan leveler sensor or temperature sensor in there. It's still all the same. I did some work myself, but other than that, yeah, basically the harness is the hardest part, because you have to find your exact year. Stick with your car And I can't stress that enough because it will cause you a whole lot of headaches and a whole lot of time wasted and money also spent, because I bought 2 harnesses and both of those didn't work. Third one finally worked. And that's what I figured out. I should have learned off the second one, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, clutch line. This is probably the simplest shit ever. There is a hole already designated for this clutch line to go through, so you don't even have to worry about that. All I did was just peel back this little firewall tape and shove this fucking line through there. There's a nipple on the reservoir. Snip it, shove it on there, and you're done for that part. Trans line, or the clutch line, I got a steel braided cable. That was pretty simple, all said and done. Oh, shifter, let me show you. There is nothing different about the shifter. There is already 2 bolts. Here, let me pull this off. And this is also, you can keep the stock center console you have. I just painted mine, but it's a pretty shit paint job. But as you can see, I have the MGW upgraded short throw shifter, but these are your original holes for the auto trans. They're already cut. When you get the MGW, it's already cut, so you just literally slide it on there. Bada bing, bada boom, you're done. And there's 2 holes, or there's 2 studs like under the trans tunnel that are already there. So all you gotta do is just screw it in. I just use these ones because the ones that MGW gives you are shitty nuts. So I used the washer nuts from these ones and just shoved it on the bottom, and you're good for that one. You don't have to cut anything out of here. I didn't make this hole any bigger. I didn't get a different center console. Center console's all the same. Everything is the same with the shifter and clutch pedal assembly. Obviously, you're gonna need to buy a clutch pedal assembly because, I mean, there's no third pedal. It's kind of self-explanatory. And yeah, I recommend getting a tune from Lido. I have a Lido tune on my car with my SCT scanner. I don't have it in the car right now, but I was getting tuned through HP Tuners first. And HP Tuners put my car into a limp mode. We got the car to work and run, but like I said, the car was stuck in a limp mode and it wouldn't get out of it. I had a ghost limiter at like $4 grand where it would just bang off this random ghost limiter. And so yeah, that was the issues I was having with that. Everything on my gauge works. I'll recycle it just for y'all guys. Obviously it's going to show us cold, but everything works. Battery temp, oil pressure temp's not going to work right now because car's on. Fuel temp, or fuel pressure, not fuel pressure, fuel gauge. Everything works. Mileage count still works. Oh, fuck off. Don't wait, I have to close the door for it. Mileage count still works. 162,000. I know I have a lot. Goes through everything. I can see my average miles per gallon, my gallons used, all that stuff. Everything works. Nothing is not working on this car. My dash, my color dash works. Everything works. Lights work. Body harness stayed the same. You don't have to touch any of that. It's just the, let me zoom out, that engine harness, because the engine harness is connected with the trans harness, and everything is regulated through the PCM. That is why I had the alternator fuse kept popping in the fuse box, was because everything's controlled by the PCM. They don't have a standalone regulator for the alternator under there, so everything is, all the voltage for the regulator is controlled by the PCM, which is stupid in my opinion, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If there's anything I haven't covered or anything y'all guys want to see, let me know in the comments, and I can definitely I'll read them and just see what's going on. Other than that, everything's pretty self-explanatory. I just want to stress it more. That that harness, it just needs to be the right pin layout for this connector and this connector. Mainly this one. This one you can really just look off of, and boom, bada bing, you can see the colors on them. I'm trying to open it for y'all, but you need a flathead to open this shit. But yeah, PCM stayed the same. Lido, I recommend going Lido Tune, like I said, because he has the file to convert your automatic trans to a manual. I guess he turned off PATS codes. He PATS deleted it and then did some other funky stuff to mess with it. Not too sure what he did, but I know HP Tuners does not work for tuning these cars to get out of the limp mode. You have to use the SCT software, and that's why I recommend Lido, because he's good with that software. Or if you have someone local who uses the SCT software, you could have them do it as well, to get rid of the limp mode wrench. Because if you are on HP Tuners, you are going to be stuck on that limp mode wrench like I was for a good while, and you cannot rev the car out past like $4.5 grand. And yeah, everything stayed the same, man. Trans bolts on, no problem. Pilot bearing, no problem. Just everything, you literally just buy the parts for like a manual car, slap it in there, and you'll be fine. You do have to get a different shim plate between the trans and the bell housing and the motor. You have to get a different one. Obviously, flywheel has to come off. Put a new flywheel. I have a billet flywheel on there now. Oh shit! What the fuck is that? Oh, yeah, everything stays the same. Just buy parts like as if you were gonna buy for a manual car. Slap it all in there. Everything's simple, not hard at all. And honestly, this car is, I guess back then they made these cars to be manual swapped because everything was there, so I had no issues with anything. And yeah, everything stayed the same, man. That's all it is to it. And yeah, thanks.